Now we've got breaking news in Ukraine where there are reports from the Ukrainian Air Force that Russia has launched another round of attacks. NBC News correspondent Ellison Barber is in Kyiv, where a community group was already preparing for this possibility by getting their neighborhood ready in case their power is knocked out by an attack. Ellison, good morning to you. I hope you and your crew, I'm sure, are staying safe. First of all, just what's going on there, and what can you tell us about this group and how it got started?
Yeah, I mean, this group, like so many Ukrainians, has been dreading, preparing for the potential of another large-scale missile strike. We are under an air raid siren right now. A spokesperson for Ukraine's Air Force, they say that an attack has already been launched, that a number of missiles have been fired from ships in the Black Sea, as well as areas near the Caspian Sea. They say that they believe this is likely the first wave of a large-scale missile attack targeting Ukraine's critical energy infrastructure, similar to attacks this country has seen and experienced since the beginning of October. He says they believe this is likely the first of multiple waves because they say that's a strategy that Russia has used when trying to target critical energy infrastructure. They fire one round of a lot of missiles, then fire other rounds kind of subsequently afterwards to try and confuse, tax Ukraine's air defenses here. But this is something that Ukrainian citizens have been aware could happen anytime. They have been preparing for it. Ukrainian officials have been warning them of it since we saw the most recent large-scale attack a couple of weeks ago. And we spent some time with one neighborhood, a community here that originally started just as kind of a ragtag neighborhood group that formed because they were trying to make their own neighborhood safer before the war. Then the war happened, and they enlisted in the territorial defense. Now they are back here trying to make sure that their own community is prepared for the possibility of additional large-scale missile strikes like the threat we are told we're under right now, and that if the power goes out within their community for days or even weeks, they can help their neighbors survive. Joe?
And Ellison, I mean, this group, they're actually on the front lines, right?
Yeah, I mean, they spent months on the front lines in the east, in the Kharkiv region. They shared a lot of video with us showing some of the things they dealt with, the days, the weeks, the months they spent in the trenches there. They see their community unit, and it is headed by the commander of the battalion now. He is actually the head of the Condo Board Association. And when the war happened, he said they all looked at each other and said, hey, we think in theory we have enough people here to form 1.5 battalions, so let's do it. So they all joined together, and the majority of the people we now met working to set up a warming center, they went to the front lines together. They came back together, and now they see the fight here, the fight against Putin using winter as a weapon, as sort of the second front line that they're dealing with together. Joe?
So, Ellison, what is it they are doing right now to prepare for attacks in their community?
Yeah, so we watched as they set up this sort of tent mini city, if you will, that had spaces where people could warm up, wood stoves, just trash cans that could be used to make fire, as well as generators. They were carrying in supplies. They were a lot of kids. You see some of them there. They brought their children, and they were helping to fan the flames, to chop the wood. It really is a big community effort. There are, of course, government efforts to help people in the event of a mass blackout. They call them points of invincibility. But what we've seen and what we saw here are Ukrainians who are looking around, seeing their neighbors and thinking, what can we do to make sure that our community, the people near us, the people we know, don't know, the people in the past we would have just borrowed some milk from, what can we do to make sure that they are safe? They say when it comes to this idea of Putin using winter as a weapon, I asked someone, do you think that's going to work? And he said, look around, look at all of us and what we're doing here. We're more united. We're going to fight it, whether it's on the front lines in Kharkiv or here fighting the large-scale missile strikes, the continuous challenge of blackouts. They say we're going to come together and keep fighting back.
All
Joe?
Right, Ellison Barber. Ellison, please stay safe. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.